Hello, everyone, and welcome to the County Buzz. I'm Dick Wolf. We are meeting with Deckard Mayor Robin Smith this morning. Going to have a conversation about the city's past and its future right after this.
When it comes to furniture, appliances, electronics, and yard equipment, start with a company you can trust. Badcock Home Furniture and More in Winchester has spent years faithfully serving their community and their customers. Badcock Furniture has always been ahead of the rest when it comes to brand name furniture, appliances, and electronics. That's why Badcock is the best. Badcock continues to renovate their store plan with new top-of-the-line quality products that fit your taste and budget and make your life at home easier than ever. Upgrade your appliances today. Ranges, freezers, refrigerators, microwaves, vacuums, and stay comfortable through the years with air conditioners and infrared quartz fireplace heaters in several sizes and designs. Live healthy and sleep better with iComfort Sleep Systems by Serta, plus sleep accessories, support systems, and foundations from other major brands. Badcock carries state-of-the-art entertainment equipment, TVs, DVD players, home theaters, computers, tablets, printers, and more, and financing is available. Visit Gregor K. Gillum and the staff at Badcock Home Furniture and More today. 405 Bypass Road in Winchester. Call 931-962-4991. We make it easy. We deliver. Badcock Home Furniture and More in Winchester.
Welcome back, everyone, and I'd like to introduce my guest this morning, Robin Smith.
Glad to be here, Dick.
Mayor of Decherd. I had to put that in front of it.
That's okay. I'm Robin. I'm Robin, everybody.
Well, thanks for coming. We've talked about a number of things before we started taping this show today. And let's start with, the current situation in Deckerd. We were talking about a new business open, and there are 3 or 4 more new ones coming.
We've got a new, we've had the Corner Uniques that's open on the far end of town. Got all kinds of gifts and things people want to buy. Across the street from that, the former Jackson's restaurant has reopened, and it's Olympia Pizzas. They have subs, gyros, chicken, anything you can imagine. Coming on back down towards the railroad tracks, we've had a beauty shop open. We've had another gift shop open where Sinclair's was. Possibility 2 other people have approached me about another gift shop in town. So it's looking like it's turning into kind of like a little mini bell buckle or Lynchburg down there. So great. And I mean, if you haven't been to these stores, do go to them and back them up. They're doing real well. Of course, we've still got the Needleworks down there as well. On the across the tracks, so you don't say the other side of tracks, the things are developing too. We've got of course, the new Dairy Queen that opened a year ago is doing great. The complex where my store is, of course, Sears moved out, but there's a furniture store moving in there probably the next month or 2. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I believe it's Farmers Furniture or something. It's out of Georgia. They have unfinished furniture, and you come in and have it finished the way you want and all. A couple other prospects. So the town is really booming. Sales tax is up, so that makes you feel good because you know people are shopping in Deckard and all.
Yeah, that's been going up pretty steadily since the crash.
Yes, it has. I get nervous. I'm one that studies history, and I look back and I told them every 4 years it kind of goes down a little bit during a presidential election. It didn't in 12, and I'm hoping it doesn't in 16. But we're doing real well. The sales tax, like I said, some of the officials in other towns kid me. They said, you got to come to Deckard to eat. And that's kind of the truth. We've got so many fast food and restaurants.
Well, the sales tax revenues it's almost $1 million a day on that boulevard between Winchester Square and Walmart. And there are still a lot of business properties available on Deckard Boulevard.
Yes, we've had in fact, this last week I had a guy approach me, and I sent him to our water and sewer superintendent, won't know how much water we could supply him, looking at bringing a small industry out towards 127. I'm not at liberty to say yet, but it would employ about 30 to 40 people. Jobs for students right out of high school even, and maybe it's had some of the courses in high school and all the vocational courses. So, and of course Kroger's, I know if you've been to Kroger's, it's a madhouse right now. I told my son I searched for 3 days for popcorn, but they're expanding there and going to just make Kroger's a lot bigger and better too. So we're glad with all the prospects we got could come into town.
Okay, and your city hall, which is on Main Street, you're moving the police department in there.
Yes.
How's the work on that coming?
Doing real well. We plan to be able, it'll probably be finished, we're looking at 3 phases, Dick. Phase 1 is taking the formal boardroom and all, preparing that for our policemen to move in. Probably within 2 to 3 weeks that'll be finished. we're going to kind of label the building A wing, B wing, and C wing. The police will be B wing, and that's going to help us out tremendously because according to new rules and regulations in the state, the clerk down there is the only one can take money for fines. Well, when she's off from work, just last week her dad passed away, she was off for a week, people would run on their lunch hour to pay a parking ticket or a speeding ticket or something or other, and if she's not there, then they would have to go all the way back on the other end of town to pay the bill.
Yeah.
Policemen couldn't take money. So this is going to streamline all this in one building. When we're finished there, we're going to put the old City Hall up for a public auction. We figured that would be the fairest way, and everybody can come in and put a bid, and they can't say, well, I didn't know it was for sale. The money we feel we'll get out of that will pay for the rest of the remodeling. And not only that, it will put that back on the tax rolls. That'll be more income for the city. Phase 2 is going to be where the fire trucks park now. We've moved it already. We're going to make that into a larger boardroom where we can accommodate maybe some community meetings as well. We have nothing for a big gathering of people. Maybe the Lions Club want to have a dinner or something. There'll be more room for that. And then phase 3 will be some cosmetic in the main office where my office and the bookkeepers all is. They heard me joke other than that. I thought I was joking, but I wasn't. When I go in some days after rain, they have to line all the checks that's paid the people paid their water bills. It looks like a clothesline because the dot drop leaks and water gets in there. And we've even had to call people and say, bring me another check. And that's embarrassing, you know.
Well, they don't like that much.
No,
either.
I wouldn't want to do it. It's like you're paying your bill twice. But we're going to take care of that. And a lot of times, too, the old drive-up window was fixed probably back in my dad's day or Mayor Shelley years ago. And we're going to redo that, too. So it's going to look like a professional building real pretty. Especially, I've talked to people about wanting to come in and bring businesses in town. And I want to show off the City Hall, make it look like something. I told them the other night at some of the aldermen when I was selling this ideal to them, we'd moved a file cabinet in my office, and they had repainted my office years ago and painted around the file cabinets.
Of course.
So you can imagine what that looks like. So it's kind of embarrassing. So we're going to fix it up real pretty. Just real proud of the way that's going to look too.
And let's go back just a little bit in history. There was a time that building wasn't safe for people.
No, it wasn't.
So how have we corrected that?
They're going in, and of course, they've removed some of the old tile that probably had asbestos. You know how that's saying for years ago, and the building was not really built originally for a office building. Back barely, I'm dating myself now, but it was a farm implement company, and then right after that, it was the Avalon Dairy. I can remember that because they had a big cow out front named Ava. I can remember that. I thought that was neat when I was a kid to go see that. But we've made a lot of corrections to that, and also to make the taxpayers happy, save on the utilities. When I was going back the other day, the contractor hollered at me, said, Robin, look at this. And they had like a 15, 18-inch air duct coming into there. I told him, I said, it would have blown them out, froze them out, or burned them up. So some issues like that, too, that we're going to be able to save money on utilities. And saving money, not having to heat the old fire hall and cool it, or police station, excuse me. Having it all in one roof will be a lot better and all like that. So we're just real pleased with all that.
Yeah, well, and that's certainly the front door to Deckard right there.
Yes,
so it's a good thing to improve it. Let's go over some of the departments. I know. Let's start with roads and streets. Cumberland Extended is still a test pattern for bad roads.
Yes.
How are we coming on those?
We've hopefully this year the new budget will start in July, and we're going to have a little more money for some more paving this year. What hurt us last year is having to pay for Chatton Street, and I know you're aware of Chatton over there.
Yeah, that was a big.
You know, I didn't realize that road was used as much, so we had to close it for. And my own aunt would call me every day, Robin, when are you going to get that road fixed? She makes a run for Sonic every day for several little ladies in Winchester, and we've got that done. So now that that's we've paid for that, hopefully we're going to have an extra money in the budget next year to take care of some other spots in town that really need it. We even need some work done in the cemetery. There's some bad spots in that, so we'll be looking at that about probably May. Well, in fact, next Monday I'm meeting with my department heads they give me their wish list. I said, and I say wish. I told them, I said, guys, when I was little, we had the wish book, you got from Sears and Roebuck and Pennies. I said, give me your wish list. You may not get it, but we're going to look at that. And I know the street superintendent, that was one of his things, to look at some streets that we need to finish up too.
Yeah, and the water department. I
Yes.
just got a survey.
Yes.
You're going after a community development block grant
Yes.
for a $2 million.
Yes, several. We realized with the Nissan expansion and some of the other expansions around here, our facility was built in 1984, 85, 30-year plan. And of course, I've had people ask me, said, well, Robin, we thought when we built that it'd be great for Deckard. It was, but we never dreamed of Deckard expanding the way it is.
Nissan, who?
Yeah, and even the development, we're hearing a lot of development at 127. I said the other night, I wish my dad, Mayor Shelley, Mayor Brown, the former mayors, could see the way little Deckard has gotten. I found a budget that my dad had back in the 90s, and I showed it to my son, and we just laughed. It was for $480,000.
I probably covered that.
Yeah,
meeting.
you probably did. And I looked at that and I said, wow, our salaries and all are about that now. And I was looking at Dad's sales tax, and I think it was like $300,000 or so. And I mean, look how we've progressed.
Sure.
So we're making plans because we see the future, what it's going to hold. We feel like, too, in this one industry that I mentioned to you, looking at coming here, will be a spinoff. They'll be doing some stuff for Nissan. So we're looking ahead. I don't want the state to come in here and say, hey, Mayor, we're going to fine you because your water treatment and your sewer plant's not ready. We got in trouble back in the 80s for this. Don't want to do that again. So we are applying for grant. It'll be a lot of it based on income in the town and things like that. I've had several meetings. There's 2 or 3 other types of grants and things we applied for. The state's been really generous to help us with. We'll know more about our water treatment plant, our sewer plant. I think we've talked to the architects. It's supposed to have things ready by maybe July, so maybe I can come back on your show August or September and give you more information on that, and maybe have my water soup come with me and all. But we're looking forward to that and hope to be able to handle a lot of bigger businesses and things like that.
So with this new industry that might be coming here, will be a water user?
Yes, they had asked. Some of the questions I didn't know, I said, we're going to talk to a water soup, but it was several thousands gallons a day they wanted to use. And that's something we're looking at in the future of maybe coming up with I'll just spill the beans today, maybe a commercial rate of water where, you and I don't use the water that some restaurants and things use. So we're looking at maybe making some adjustments of that to give some relief for us because, we...
And would that relieve the surcharge?
I don't know about the surcharge, but it would bring maybe the rates down or something like that's what we're looking into. We need to see what we would get from the commercial rates and all. I wasn't aware, I was in a meeting, most cities our size, I call us a city, have a commercial rate in it's a homeowner's rate or something like what we have. So we're looking at maybe that too, the new budget too and all. So, but we're doing, like I said, financially I'm real happy with the city and everything. And I'm going to jump ahead if you don't mind. I'd like to share one. Go ahead.
Okay. This will be. We're going to take a break right after this. So let me hear it.
I want to share with you too. We're real proud of Deckard, and I shared this with you earlier. It's going to be 150 years old in 2018, and got a few old timers, as I call them. Serve on my committee, and we're looking at having. A lot of people doesn't realize it, but Deckard was the potato capital of Middle Tennessee. I've got pictures and things of where trucks were lined up and down Main Street, probably all the way to your house where you live. And so we're going to have, probably the fall of 18, a potato festival. We'll have vendors, kind of like a craft fair, like Polly Crockett, but we're going to have French fries, fried potatoes, baked potatoes, and all. Booths come out, kind of celebrate our heritage and all like that. Yeah. So we're in the planning stages of that. If anybody would love to volunteer, help us with that. Please call the City Hall, give them your name. We're going to even do a historical booklet. You probably were around when we did the one in 1986, Dick. And we're going to do a historical booklet with stuff in the town. We've got, in fact, the founder of Deckard, Peter Deckard, his great-great-grandson came by to see me a year ago in my office, lives in Texas now. he is going to come back for the festival. He wants to come back too. So this is kind of neat. So we're looking forward to this.
Robin Smith, the mayor of Deckard, we're talking with him, and we'll be back with more conversations with Robin right after this. Whatever your shipping needs, Mr. Postman is where you want to go. Convenient across from the post office in Winchester. Take your packages or bring the item unpacked and they'll carefully box it and send it off for safe delivery. Anywhere. Yes, in or out of the USA, Mr. Postman can get it there quickly. There's more. Get a box number with a street address. Start a background check with safe and secure fingerprinting. Oh, wait, forgot that card to go with that present? Not a problem. A good selection of cards, funny, faithful, and family. Mr. Postman, across from the post office, Winchester. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Robin Smith, Mayor of Deckard. You just told us about plans for a potato festival of some kind to celebrate Deckard's 150th birthday, and Mr. Deckard himself is likely to visit. Deckard has made a lot of activities. This April, John Schneider, Bo Duke, is going to be in town.
Yes.
What about that?
I can't wait to see that. I wasn't where Miss Sons was telling me.
That's Norman Sons and
about.
Sherry. Yeah.
Probably about a month ago, or a few weeks ago, we were at City Hall, and they said, "Look at here, Robin." And I got excited. My daughter's going to come from Nashville. She was a big Dukes of Hazzard fan, so she'll be here from Nashville just to see that now. But we're really excited about that. Prior to that, probably 2 weeks earlier or so, we have our annual Easter egg hunt. And if I could put a plea to anybody, last year I had been at my church and came back over, and I about fainted. There was something like 1,000 kids showed up for our Easter egg hunt. It was, I couldn't believe it, the crowd. And so we need help. Plastic eggs, or if you've got an extra $1 or $2, leave it at City Hall. A lot of the businesses are great to give us coupons, eggs, but we have the biggest Easter egg hunt around here. Now, it will be at the John L. Sanders Park.
Right.
We divide it up into like age groups. We even had a group for special needs kids as well. And it worked out great, but that's something that's really developed in Deckard too. And so we could use your help, even hiding the eggs and all that morning. Miss Becky Sanders is in charge of that, and that's just great. We'll have our Christmas parade. I'm really jumping ahead, but it has grown to be just great. This year, the crowds were just tremendous.
We covered it live on the Franklin County Buzz.
I remember seeing y'all, and it was. I think at night, a lot of people made the remark with all the lights we use and all, and each year that's been growing as well. We're looking at maybe inviting some more bands this year and we've had different people give us donations to give prizes for the bands and things like that. And like I said, we're going to look to maybe having not the festival every year, but some activities to kind of kick off this festival we're talking about, maybe also in September. So we've got a lot of nice things going on, extracurricular. I didn't realize this, but when we applied for the grant for our ball field, to apply for these grants, you have to prove that you do more than just play ball. The parade,
right.
The Easter egg hunt, we need, and this is something we're looking at, they said we kind of got marked down on not having activities for senior adults, for senior citizens.
That'd be me.
Yeah. So that's one reason we're hoping to get the new City Hall boardroom will be big enough to do something, and the Recreations Committee is working on that. I know one of the clubs, our Lions Club, we sponsor Leo, and some of the different clubs that excuse me, Dick, I'm not used to this, mentioned having, an activity. They'll start out with bingo for them one night a week or something, but we're looking at that because we need to do so. Because Deckard does have a lot of senior citizens.
Yes.
And so that's something we're looking at too to help with our senior citizens, something for them to do. Because I guess I got my AARP card last year, so my daughter said, "Dad, you're officially a senior citizen," I guess. So it's something to look forward to help them too as well.
Yeah, well, Deckard's a good place to grow old in.
Yes, I love it. I've lived here all my life except for when I was away at college, and then I was back, and don't want to live anywhere else.
So we talked about the Christmas, and you've got other activities in Deckard through the year, do you not?
Yes, we have. We try to have here again, it goes back to the Potato Festival, Miss Potato, or Miss Deckard. Last year we had to cancel it because of some different things just come up, but we'll plan on having that again as well. We had a community Thanksgiving service last year. All the churches went together. we had over 200 and something people at that. Had that in September, and just a time of everybody coming together and celebrating, Thanksgiving and all, kind of a non-denominational to come together. That was just great too, seeing our people come together, doing things like that. It's just been great seeing all the growth and things like that and all. We're hoping too to see some more civic organizations. Right now we just have the Lions Club, and we're hoping to get some more, maybe something for the younger folks organized too as well. But,
yeah, the younger people have been crying for
Yes.
attention from the grown-up community, and they're not getting very much.
And one day, I hope, we would like some type of community center. Just that's, I'm 56. I'd sure like to have one before I left this world, but we're the only town that doesn't have a place to go to have birthday parties or just any kind of get-together, social family reunion. Winchester has something. Estill Springs does, County does. We don't. And we've got the land. It's just coming up with the money for it eventually. And we hope maybe the next couple of years the budget's to do something like that, because it would be great.
I want to run back across the railroad tracks just for a minute. Now, let's talk about the name Historic Deckard.
Sure.
Is that Historic Deckard?
Yes, it is, Rick.
Is it recognized by anyone?
It was recognized, and we had a sign. The wind took care of that, but I'm going in June to another. I guess it's like my dad said, you spend your first term learning the job, and you learn about different grants and things. There are grants available to even fix up town. We've noticed already, and I never dreamed this would ever happen, we're having some parking issues in the old part of town. Tickled me to death last Saturday, 2 weeks ago. My daughter wanted to go to some of the shops, and we couldn't find a parking place. I thought, wow. So we're looking at coming up with some land, some vacant lots, to use these historical grants, and maybe we want them well lit. Some of the street lights, maybe like Winchester's got. So I found that we can get through that because of the age of the buildings. There's some of those buildings older than some of the ones in Winchester, because the railroad, and that has to do with Mr. Deckard, that was a plantation right there where the old part of town is, historical part. And he gave a lot of that land when the railroad came through, and that's where Deckard was born in the 1800s. So we would like to see that. One of the business owners in town is looking at buying it's where the old theater was. And right now there's just a piece of plywood across it. He's wanting to buy that land and develop it into like a little, maybe a little gazebo, and have, he called it Saturday night picking and grinning, kind of like the gazebo, the amphitheater in Winchester. That's another reason I want to go to this seminar in June, to find out the money available for that. And the back area of that, which the city owns all that, we could fix into more parking and come through there for the stores and all. Because that's the thing, people want parking at their stores. Yeah. And see, our oldest churches, the Seventh-day Adventists, decided not to tear their old sanctuary down, because that was originally the Church of Christ, built in the late 1800s, early 1900s. The Methodist Church was built in the late 1800s, so there's a lot of old historical buildings and homes down there. Spring Street is one of the oldest streets in town. Broad Street, which is on the other side of the tracks. So I'm wanting, that's my next goal, to see. I mentioned to the board and the Recreation Committee who's helping with some of this, I'd like to see it develop into like a little Bell Buckle or Lynchburg, quaint shops like it for people to come. Maybe I do know of a lady that mentioned putting in a bakery sandwich shop or something, a little place to eat, because if you go at lunchtime in Deckard, they're packed. I believe nobody cooks anymore. They go out to eat and all like that. So that's what we're wanting to see, really, to give you a really true meaning of historical Deckard. Is what I like to see. I'm a history buff. You can't tell.
I understand.
You know
well,
that,
and you took me. I'm going to double back just a little bit to talk about business, because you talk about new industries and businesses coming to Deckard, but yet it was just recently that the Farmers Co-op has got a $3.5 million expansion.
Yes.
They're tripling the size of their building. That expresses a faith in our agricultural community.
Yes.
And also, Henley's is now a Ace Hardware store.
Yes. That I feel like that will really, both of them will be an asset to us as well. Not only I was kidding Mr. Swan at the co-op. I said, I love to see y'all coming by these building permits and all, but he showed me the long-term plans for that. It looks like a big department store too. They're going to have clothing and other merchandise to purchase as well. We're really excited about Ace Hardware as well too, because I believe that will bring in business that maybe. I had a contractor tell me the other day he had to go all the way to Tullahoma to find just a certain. As I tell my kids, I wouldn't know a screwdriver from a hammer, but you know, a certain piece he needed. And he said he felt like he could have got it at Ace Hardware. So that's going to be great.
Driving by there just yesterday, as a matter of fact, I looked in there and I saw so much light in there.
Yes.
They put all new fixtures in there,
yes.
and it really is a bright place.
They had let me know there's going to plan a grand opening, ribbon cut, and all in the weeks to come. So we can't wait till we have that.
And Fred's has just been remodeled. It's
Yes,
now a
yes,
grocery store
yes,
as well as variety store.
Yeah, and even the Dollar Tree down where my store is, I laughed. I said, the day we had snow up, nobody was out. They were at the Dollar Tree, people buying groceries and things like that. So all those and doing real well and all. So we're just, like I said, I'm really excited what's in store for the future as well for us.
Well, I thank you for coming on the show
I
this morning. And I heard you earlier say maybe in June or August or July you'll come again.
I hope.
Yes, let's do that.
Be glad to do that.
We'd
Dick,
love to talk about
have
that.
some more announcements for you. Appreciate it, Dick.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Dick.
Thank you for watching, everyone. This is the County Buzz. I'm Dick Wolf. If you see us on Comcast Channel 3, you can also find us on YouTube or the Facebook page, Franklin County Buzz. Thanks for watching.